Welcome back to another round of playing the Wizards with myself, Radagast versus Alatar. So the thing that I feared happening since I first started these recordings ended up happening, and I went to play rounds 14 and 15, and I'd had the camera strapped to my forehead, and I assumed it was recording, and then I got done with those two rounds, and I figured out that it was not recording. Oh dear. So instead of going back, trying to reset and play those rounds again for you, I'm just going to catch you up on what happened. They weren't the world's most eventful rounds, but some things of note did happen. I'm just going to tell you what happened, and we'll pick back up for round 16. It's regrettable, but I just don't. Yeah. Oh well. There's nothing I can do. I'll try and keep it from happening going forward. So what happened was Radagast and his company went to Shrolkhan. They recruited the Men of Dorwinion. Bjorn recruited another noble hound ally, and then they moved from Dorwinion back to the Woodland Realm to Thranduil's halls in an attempt to recruit the Wood Elves. However, in the meantime, my opponent went through his play deck for the first time, and he was able to shuffle in some new hazards: Thief, Pickpocket, Reaching Shadow, Muster Disperses, Lure of Power, and of course the Pickpocket came up along with some other good hazards, and Rank Upon Rank was in play, and so they made a good effort to attempt to steal the Valiant Sword out from under Haldir. And this company was actually able to prevent that from happening, but only by everyone tapping. And so when they arrived at Thranduil's halls, everyone was tapped, and they weren't able to recruit the Wood Elves at the end of last turn. So they will, at the end of the last round, so they will start their turn at Thranduil's halls and probably attempt to do that this go round. Meanwhile, on the other side, so over here we returned from Mount Graham with the prisoners. We stored the prisoners at Rivendell, and as I said, we made it through our play deck once finally, and so then we moved from Rivendell to Bree, and then recruited the Rangers of the North. And yes, we've still got both of our fellowships. We haven't added anyone to the company since we played those, so those are still going strong. Our opponent did attempt to play a few corruption cards on us, but with some well-placed Marvels Told, we were able to deal with those, with the exception of this Lure of Expedience, which is still on Elrond at this as of the end of the last round. So so that's where we leave them, and we can see that some of the cards we shuffled in when we reshuffled the play deck. Some of the cards we reshuffled in from the sideboard are very near the top. Maybe that speaks to my skill as a shuffler, but we are. We are well poised to hopefully maybe do some damage on our opponent, which we haven't really been able to do much against them recently. So let's hope so. Okay, now we're going to go back over and actually start the round. So apologize for that. I'll try and keep it from happening going forward. Okay, let's begin the round. Enough chit chat. Let's get started. So Radagast is untapping. Bjorn and the Black Arrow untap. Gimli and Haldir untap, and we will stay here at Thranduil's halls. It's a freehold in the Woodland Realm. We're not moving, so we don't draw any cards. Our hazard limit is first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. Do we want to move anyone around? I don't think so. Radagast still has 8. Yes, I think this is a good setup. We're going to stay here, and we'll just stay in Thranduil's halls. So no one draws, but our opponent can still play up to 4 hazards if they so choose. So let's go take a look at them. All right, over here on this side, I definitely think we're going to play Reaching Shadow. There's no reason not to play that. Any creature that can be keyed to a Shadowland can be keyed to all of the regions in the vicinity of Southern Mirkwood. This is a Dol Guldur themed card. And then I'm going to play another permanent event, Lure of Power, the next non-Hobbit character to make a successful attempt against a faction must immediately make a corruption check modified by -4. Now, I'm a little concerned because I think, yeah, they can probably all tap to help Radagast with this corruption check. But hey, maybe we'll get lucky. So let's see what happens. All right, back over here. Yes, I think we don't have any way of dealing with the Lure of Power. We don't have a card that will allow us to get rid of that. So I think we just have to go for it. And yes, Radagast is going to attempt to play the Wood Elves. So he's going to tap. When does this corruption take place? Okay, the successful attempt. So first things first, we recruit the Wood Elves. Radagast can't miss. The influence check must be greater than 8. He's got 8 free direct influence, so he can't miss. So we've got yet another faction under our belt, and now we will make this corruption check. Everybody in the party is going to tap here to help Radagast attempt to pass this corruption check. This is very frightening. I don't want to sit here. Yeah, so we're going to do it. Okay, so Radagast has essentially three corruption points with his +1 modifier and his Wizard's Ring. So 3 corruption points. And so these 3 members tapped to help him. So that would bring it down to 0, and the corruption check is modified by -4. So if he rolls 4, 3, or 2, it's game over. Oof. Not the best odds. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, 7. Oh, Lord. Okay. That was awfully nerve-wracking. Oh, and then Thranduil's Hall's tap. Okay, so discard this card after this corruption check. Okay, so that's the end of that. Whew, boy. All right, that was nerve-wracking. And then it's the end of turn phase, so we can discard 1. Smaug is dead, so that doesn't do us any good. And then, all right, Dragon's Blood. And Cave Worm. Okay, very nice. On the other side, we can discard 1 and then draw up. We may need to keep the cram in our hands. I have to have something in order to tap a Shadow Hold or a Dark Hold in order to rescue prisoners. Our point strategy depends on rescuing those other 2, or coming through with those other 2 rescue prisoner cards. So we have to have something to be able to tap a site with, and so I think I got to keep those in hand. Vilya's going to stay in hand. Star of High Hope. That's helpful if we're going to go somewhere dangerous, but we've got to have a reason to go somewhere dangerous. I guess the cram is the reason, and we'll just go to a Shadow Hold. Okay, I'm talking in circles. Let's see. Gates of Morning. I don't think we want to discard anything. Let's see. Is that right? Ugh. We'll discard the cram. Okay, we need 1. We don't need 2, maybe. Ambusher. Many turns and doublings. And River. All right. Okay, and that's the end of Radagast's turn. Now we move on to Alatar's turn. Okay, everyone untaps. And then Elrond is going to immediately tap to attempt to remove the Lure of Expedience. Yes, he will. And he rolls an 8, so he does so. Fantastic. Okay. And now we need to go somewhere. We need to go to a... Well, we don't have the prisoner's card in our hand. We need to just move around and get more cards. So the best way for this team to get more cards is to go to Rivendell, where once we're there, Elrond's passive allows us to hold 9. I guess that's what we do. All right. Well, it seems like a bit of a waste of a turn, but that's what we got to do. Okay, so we're moving to Rivendell, and we can draw 2. Our opponent can draw 1. Okay, let's draw as many as we can. Risky blow. Tidings of bold spies. Other side. From the pits of Angmar. Okay. Okay, so they are moving to Rivendell. The sight path from Bree is double wilderness. They're leaving a border hold. They're going to a haven. And they're moving through Thranduil and Rudauer. Okay. So, unfortunately, that doesn't allow me to play the cave worm. If the company has moved to the site, does not tap a ranger, they must do nothing this phase. Okay, well... just for the sake of moving on through the hand, I'm going to play River. Force them to tap a ranger. They'll tap Baratar. Right. And then I'll play from the Pits of Angmar at the end of each end of turn phase. Okay. And that's all I can do to them. So they arrived. We draw up to 8. Twilight. And we bring our hand to 9. Which one? Alright. Cancel, attack. Well, okay, the number of strikes is reduced by half. The hazard limit is decreased by 1. Or risky blow. Let's discard risky blow. Okay, so we brought our hand to 9. We've arrived at Rivendell. Bree gets discarded. And now that we're here, we can... What can we do? We can tap Alatar and bring... I don't think we even have... Yeah, maybe we bring Tom into the play deck. Okay, we'll bring Tom Bombadil into the play deck, shuffle him in, and then that's the end of our sight phase, and we're on to the end of turn phase, and we can discard 1 and draw up. Oh boy, I guess I could have played this long event. Maybe I should just do that. Well, we'll go somewhere dangerous next, and then we'll play it. But in the meantime, we just gotta make some moves. I'll get rid of River. Lawless Men. Alright. And then over here, we can discard 1 and draw up. Okay, Fellowship. Wouldn't that be nice? We need to get to a haven first, though. Okay. And that's the end of that round.